Okay guys, back when I was making those cutting boards, I broke this handle on my table saw, and because of that I cannot tighten my blade, so it's just sitting here at some weird angle. I can't get a 90 out of it, I can't get a 45 out of it. Pretty much the table saw is useless to me right now. I've been online, I've looked for a replacement part. This is an older saw, so I can't find it, but I believe that this saw is under warranty, so I need to take it into the shop. But in the meantime, I need to have some kind of a table saw set up, so I'm going to see if I can't throw together just a DIY table saw, and that's what today's video is about. So let's get started. Well, first thing I need to do is get this table saw removed from my little table saw counter here, and I've already taken one of the screws out here, so I'll take this one out. Got a couple more of these to remove, and then I'll be able to get this table saw out of here. Okay, I got my saw off here. That's just a piece of cardboard, and I'm gonna load that up in the truck. But when I built this table saw stand for that old portable saw, I got me a piece of 3/4 inch melamine, and I used half of it for the top here, and that's worked out really nice. I still have the other half, so I think I'm going to use that as the base for my temporary DIY table saw, and I might just mount it right on top of this, since I've already got this stand and it's nice and firm. So let me go grab that. Alright, I'm just going to use a piece of angle iron for my fence, and I'll just get it square and then clamp it on either end. And I want to be able to cut at least a 24-inch piece. So I'm going to set this on the end and measure 24 inches from the fence side. That way I'll know exactly where to place my blade, and hopefully I'll have room to do that. Okay, so I've got my drywall square in place right at the 24-inch mark, and that'll give me a little bit of play, because I can move this back and forth a little bit if I need to. But that'll give me at least a 24-inch cut on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this off, and that's where I'm going to plunge my blade through. Okay, I measured from the edge of the new platform to the back of the opening that I've got, and it's just under 25.5 inches. So what I need to do is make sure that from the front end currently, because when I flip it, it'll be on this back end, but I need to make sure that my saw and the housing and everything is within 25 inches. So right now I've got it within 24 inches, so I should be okay. I should have plenty of clearance. Alright, so I got it clamped off there, and I've got it squared and clamped off here, so I know that my straight edge is going to be dead on. So I just need to make sure that this is flush up against there, and then I'm going to drill a hole right here and screw this to this new platform. Okay, now that I've got one screw in, I can use that as a pivot, and then I can set this square and get my other screws in to attach this. Alright, so that cut will give me a nice 90-degree angle, but just in case I want a 45-degree angle, I'm going to loosen this, switch it to 45 degrees, and then give myself another cut. Okay, I've got the trigger on the saw zip tied closed, and then I'm going to plug the saw into this power strip that has an on-off switch. So that way I can turn it on and off here, and I won't have to worry about anything down here. So let's plug everything in and give it a test run. Okay, I got the platform flipped over. So first thing is my saw bumps into there, so this is as far to the left as I can get it. There'll be a little bit of piece here that's not a problem. This is just temporary solution anyway. And my screws that are holding the saw in place came through, so I'm going to have to cut those off flush. Again, that's not a problem. So let me go ahead and cut those off and get this attached. All right, got it squared up here. Squared up here. So let's give it a test run. Okay, here's the board I just cut. That's a pretty nice cut. And this is just pine, you know, it's soft pine, but it went through there like butter. I think this thing's gonna do just what I need it to do while I'm waiting for a new saw. So I'll be able to work on some projects, but I'm not done yet. I still need to attach this more permanently than just, you know, flopping around. And I've got some staples that I can use to attach that more permanently. And I also picked up some adhesive tape that I'm going to run across here so that I can use that to use it as a measuring guide for my fence, distance from the fence to the blade. So let me get on that. Okay, another thing, I had this set up at 2.5 inches from the blade. So let's see how we did. I got dead on 2.5 there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then on this end here, dead on 2.5. So it's consistent from one end to the other, the cut. So I think this will be just fine. All right, I'm going to take some alcohol in my cleanest dirty rag, and I'm going to clean up this edge so that my adhesive tape measure will stick to it. So let's get to that. Okay, I've got my fence clamped to the blade, and we'll just make sure that that's square. And yep, that's nice and square. So now I know where my 0 point needs to be. So I'm going to start my adhesive tape right there. All right, I've got this 2.5 inch board. Let's say I want to cut it down to 2 inches. So let's give that a shot. All right, that's all there is to setting up the fence. It takes a little bit longer, but a couple of steps, a couple of clamps, that's not a problem. So let me go ahead and get that cut and we'll see how we did. All right, looks pretty good on that end. And looks pretty good on that end. I'm sure it's not perfect. It's probably, if I was going to cut something the length of this table, it'd probably be off a 32nd or something, but hey, I can live with that. This is just for rough cuts anyway. So I think I'm good. My tape is going to work out just fine. So now I just need to mount that permanently. And I think we'll call this one good. So let me get to mounting this. Okay, these twist ties aren't quite long enough to reach when I've got the plug in here, so I'm going to need to double them up. So you just got to make sure if you've got the flat piece here, then you need to have the flat piece going in the same direction. Just needs to bite a little bit. Sometimes you need 3 hands. All right. Get my next one on. All right, that's good and tight. So now I can going to take the excess cord and I'm going to wrap it up a little bit so that it stays nice and neat. So let me do that. All right, a couple of housekeeping things. I want to cut this to length so I don't have a bunch sticking off the end, and then I'll probably just get some spray paint and spray paint these areas right here white, just so that it looks a little bit nicer. So I want to get this in flush, and get my marker and mark it right here, and then that's where I'm going to cut it. nice and smooth, no rough edges, nothing to catch your finger on. This is probably going to end up being a total disaster, but here goes. Doesn't look too bad. I'll take it. I'll probably put another coat on it when it dries. But I think we're going to call this guy done. Got my fence cut, so I'll make it easy to clamp. And I got everything tidied up underneath. I've got my on-off switch right there with easy access. I think this will do just fine until I get my other saw. So I'm going to be taking this in because I'm pretty sure it's under warranty. I'm not sure. If it is, I'll go ahead and get it fixed. But I might get this fixed and then designate this as my backup, or I might use it as a dedicated dado blade saw. And I might just get myself another saw, because this is a good temporary solution, but it's not a good long-term solution. But it's going to get me through my next couple of projects, so that's what I'm going to go with. So that's about it for this week. So I'll talk to you guys later.